Hey, how's it going? This is the first episode that I've decided to make today um, of Chump Chats. If you don't know me already, I'm JustChump. I'm a Twitch streamer, funniest person on Twitter, and the last person to have tied their shoes. And I kind of had this planned for like a month and a half now, but never really got around to it because there's life, and then there's new stream ideas, and then there's I want to do videos, and I want to do this, and I want to, and it's just it all gets lost in the mix, man. Um, I am currently laying on my floor, staring at the ceiling with my mic next to me, which is why if the audio sounds a little distant, I apologize. I'm doing my best, but I also don't want chair noise going on. And I don't have a $300 microphone to stop that, or a good chair for that matter. Um, but I don't know. I'm also listening to jazz, so you guys probably can't hear music unless I end up putting something in. But just know that for me, this is very tranquil. This is very tranquil right now, what I'm doing. But I don't know. I I've had thoughts recently. Not bad ones. I'm not I'm not gonna like die tomorrow or something. In fact, I plan on uploading this tomorrow or Thursday for people who don't get time. Today's Wednesday, so but I kind of just wanted to talk. I've been thinking about kind of who I am as a content creator, and and where I've come from, where I want to go, and who I am now, which is probably the hardest question to answer on the list. You know what I mean? So I guess we can go from the beginning. This feels like a therapy session. That's, you're my therapist now. I hope you enjoy that. No, you're not. I don't know you. Don't talk to me. So, where does it begin? Probably, see, I was, early on YouTube. I was always kind of an internet kid. Even from when I was like fucking like 5 or 6, I remember playing computer games on the family computer. They had a compact disc that you could put in to the computer, and it loaded up a bunch of different little educational games and shit. It was great. I remember coming home from school, playing some of those, getting yelled at for being on too long. But listen, they just didn't get that I was a gamer early on. Early onset gamer disorder. It's not something they really talk about in, mainstream media, but that's my life. And when YouTube came out, I was a huge fan. I loved YouTube probably around 2008 is when I got on. And kind of just poking around, finding the viral videos, the Charlie bit my finger, the Charlie the unicorn, Charlie is so cool. Like, there was a lot of Charlies at the time. You had to be there. But, I probably didn't get too deep-seated until it came to around 2011, or 2010 it was maybe, when I got really into Minecraft YouTubers. Early stages, alpha stages of Minecraft is when I started watching Minecraft YouTube. And I watched the Yogscast with Honeydew and Zephos, Simon, and I forget the other one's name. but you get the point. And I was a big fan. It started off as just a normal Minecraft playthrough that sort of devolved, or not devolved, I guess progressed into this greater narrative, that had like antagonists and more characters added on, and it was more than what the game was meant to be. Um, and that's when I sort of realized, I guess, uh, a lot about storytelling, you know, and how you can take something so simple as a 8-bit block game that, which at the time, what fucking MW3 was out. So you have these games with great graphics, and then you go back to Minecraft, and it's like, these are bad graphics, but that wasn't the point, you know. And even now, I kind of hate the new shaders and stuff, and adding all sorts of complex things because, I guess I'm a Minecraft conservative, you know. Of course, it adds new things to the game so that people don't get bored with it, and there's cool new things. But I'm a hard ass. I like the OG, I guess. But so I got into Minecraft YouTube there, and then came along the creatures, which are kind of I feel like less known. Amongst Minecraft YouTube circles, maybe, which had people like Kutra, Uberhaxor Nova, Slyfox Hound, which Slyfox was one of my favorite creators at the time. Seamus CP or PCK, even involved a bit of Chimney Swift. Seamus and Chimney Swift were good friends, and I see Chimney Swift now streaming and stuff like that. Sea of Thieves, no longer Minecraft. But I was a big fan of Chimney Swift as well. And just got into a lot of gaming YouTube. Imagine, I know they're kind of, disbanded a bit now, and it's a bit more controversial, but imagine like the lunch club of my day, I'd say. Because I didn't really watch the Lunch Club with Schlatt and all those guys. I was kind of off YouTube at that point, actually, for a bit. And so the creatures were kind of my content creators looking up to growing up. And they were good stuff. And I tried my hand at YouTube at that time. And I've shown people the videos that my friend Liam made, but I've unfortunately deleted all of my old content. I remember I recorded them on my iPod Touch. Vertical, of course, never horizontal. Why the fuck would it be horizontal? It had to be vertical. I was an early stage TikToker. Was the root cause. I just had the vision. Nobody saw it yet, you know. But but I remember my first YouTube video I uploaded and then shared with all my Facebook friends in my town, and family and so on, and it was fucking cringy. I don't know where I was going with the whole thought. Not in this podcast. Of course, this podcast, I know what I'm talking about, because I'm fucking awesome now. But I started talking about how I was gonna build this YouTube channel and how it was like a house, and like right now we were just the base. And then maybe when we get to like 1,000 subscribers, we get an attic. Or not an attic, a basement. And then maybe when we get to 100,000, it's the first level of the house. And when we get to 500,000, we got a second level, baby. And then 1 million, that's where we cap off the roof. Like that's how that was the whole video. Summarized, except I talked about that for like 6 minutes. I talked about how I would love all my fans, but I don't have any fans. so it just kind of was redundant. The video got around 100-something views because I shared, like I said, I shared it on my Facebook. I said I'm gonna try my hand at YouTube. Everybody watched it, and got like no likes, no comments, no subscribers. Terrible day for JustChump Industries there. But you know, we move, and and so I go on, and I kind of forget about YouTube. I take on Vine for a couple years throughout middle school. I get a pretty decent Vine following, but then Vine gets fucking obliterated into the moon, and it just doesn't matter anymore, so those followers don't really matter. But I made a couple friends from Vine. Some I still keep in contact with today, or follow on Instagram, or in one way or another. Just we keep each other aware of our presences. You know what I mean? And takes me to high school. Did television production all 4 years. Had a great teacher. Love him to death. Obviously, I'm not going to say his name, but he's a great guy, great role model. And I never did any personal YouTube stuff. I was too busy doing sports and student council on top of my own schoolwork that I just found myself only doing video projects for this class. And it made me really passionate, and I did love doing it, but I never took out the second chance at making stuff for myself, I guess. And I think it was more out of fear. I think there was a couple people who tried YouTube in middle school that went to my school, obviously. And they were, like, vehemently made fun of. I don't know if vehemently is the right word, but it's the only word I could think of that would describe how badly they were bullied. Not to laugh at people. I'm not laughing at people being bullied. I'm laughing at myself. You know what I'm. Yeah, you get it. So I didn't really make YouTube or really anything for that matter up until about my senior year. I heard about TikTok, and I said, "Oh, that's funky," and I started making a couple videos on there. And I amassed, a small following. I think still on my original account, I have around over 10,000. I'm maybe at 12,000 or something. I'm losing a lot. I don't post on there. I don't like the account. The content is boring to me now. It's a lost project. I didn't really, like, I had obviously, like around, 12,000, 13,000 on any other social media would be, huge. Like, to have, 13K on Twitter would mean, you're doing pretty well, But on TikTok, you don't have fans or a following or anything like that, You just have the number, really. So I kind of lost it on there, and then the pandemic happened. Boom, boom, pandemic. And I started working for a pizza place that was local to me. Steps back. So I kind of skipped over playing video games too much throughout my high school years. Again, just something I didn't have time for. I don't regret not doing it as much. I still kind of kept up with YouTube and the YouTube scene, but mostly throughout high school, I would just occasionally play Call of Duty or Skate 3 or the NBA games. I love the NBA games, but nothing gamer. Nothing that screamed, I am an actual gamer. It was very base level gamer. Surface level, whatever, And so when the pandemic started, I kind of had an easier break from classes, not a lot of time to do stuff. I was stuck inside, so what do? You pick up the controller, you go back to your roots. I end up getting very involved in Call of Duty and doing my best to excel there. I like was starting to do CDL, which is Call of Duty League games. And I was drawing up strategies for search and destroy and stuff, and trying out all sorts of new things, and it made me passionate about playing video games again. Do I want to fucking be a COD pro in the future? Fuck no. COD's for nerds. Come on, grow up. Valorant's the future, baby. But it still made me passionate again to get back into the online scene more. And so, my friend that I formerly played with the most said, "Hey, the pizza place I'm working at's hiring." I had just been furloughed from Best Buy. I had worked at Best Buy for like 2 years, and so I was like, "Yeah, well, I'll work at the pizza place." And then he was like, "Hey, you should get a gaming computer," because he had already built one, and he was planning on upgrading his, and whatever. And so it was around, I believe, May that I had finally built it. Maybe May or June, I forget which. But it was between that period last year, 2020, that I had finished my first ever computer build. It was the first gaming PC I ever owned. I had always dreamed of getting something like a gaming computer or a gaming laptop. I remember always begging my mom for an Alienware when I was a kid, and then, it never happened, and thank God, Alienwares are a fucking waste and a half. But yeah, it's the one I still have now. I haven't upgraded a fucking piece. The only thing I've added is a second monitor. And that's what we're running with now. And I started streaming. Call of Duty. I didn't really. I started streaming with no real understanding of how the online sphere worked at all. I didn't understand third-party growth. I didn't understand making, or networking, or just making friends online to kind of, just know people in the scene. I thought, I was under the impression, which I'm sure many people are or have been, that all you have to do to get big on streaming is do it more. Just keep streaming, people will pop into your streams, and then more people will come in, and then more people will come in, and then more, and it just never happened. I had been streaming from about it was July or June, like end of June, beginning of July. I forget what the exact day was. But I had been streaming from then until it was about, I think I kind of gave up a bit in November. And I was just defeated. Schoolwork was beating my ass. Trying to stream on top of schoolwork was beating my ass. It just wasn't fun. And at that point, I thought that's when I was out of content creation. I thought I gave it another shot. That's it. We swung for the fences. We ended up missing. We fell flat on our ass, flat on our face. We did a fucking somersault into the shit pile that was fucking rock bottom, I was still working at the pizza place. So at least I had some grounding under my feet. I didn't go all in too soon. And I was looking for what was next. I end up deciding for some reason at the end of my first semester 2020, my fall semester, I suppose, not first semester, that I was going to take the next semester off, and I was gonna hard focus streaming and work. So I made up some bullshit excuse to my parents about how going to school at home was not good, and it didn't work for me, and that I needed to take this next semester off or else my grades would do bad. Which could be true if, maybe, I don't know. But it was not the reason I wanted to take the semester off. I wanted to focus on streaming in school. And the first month, January, seemed like a loss. I, again, was just streaming more and still not gaining anymore. And it was during that time that, my girlfriend of almost, it was getting close to a year, whatever, had broken up with me. And I was a bit lost again. And I kind of, not to be like morbid, I guess, or anything, or trauma dumping in chat, but I do my best when I'm in a pretty bad state, and I would have considered myself at that point in a pretty bad state. I won't get too into detail because I don't want to trigger anybody, but it just wasn't good. And I made one TikTok with an idea. Like I said, I'm most creative when I'm, not doing well at all. And it was about worst interview ever. It was an interview show, for those who don't know. I would bring on 3 other streamers basically every week. I would look deeply into their VODs and who they are, and just all sorts of random shit I'd pull from their Twitter and Instagram and even old accounts and TikTok, and ask their friends about them, and so on. And I would lay it on them. I was like the Nardwar, if anybody's ever seen Nardwar, the human serviette. I was like him, but for Twitch. And that got me from my 2 average viewers to 25 pretty quickly. And then it just, and we go through kind of all the stages of how my streaming career, I guess. Doesn't feel like a career. It just feels like I don't even know what it feels like, honestly. I really can't describe it. But we go from there, we go to Are You Smarter Than a Twitch Streamer, which is where I met Trev, and then we go to Subathon, and becoming friends with people like Spinity and Star and Prelore and Isaac, and then a little bit later Rhea and Rachel and Squid and blah, and this and that and blah, 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 and then we get to Viewerthon, and now we're where we're at now. And when you think about it like that, it feels so long, It feels it with the days that have passed. Every single day trying to come up with something new to do for the next stream, which I'm horrified that that'll run out at some point, and I don't know when it will. It felt, going through it felt so long, and now looking back on it, it's so little. It's not even, I wouldn't even really consider myself having had a full streaming year, I really would consider the start of my streaming career that February. That's when I really started. That it was February 15th or maybe 14th that I uploaded the TikTok. And I remember texting Mod Eric, good old Muppet Arms, Hey, I started this day with around 170 followers, and I've already gone up 60 followers because of this TikTok. And he goes, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah. And then a couple hours later, I go, Eric, I just hit 300 followers. And he goes, weren't you at 170? And I go, yeah. And then, a couple hours later, I text Eric. I'm like, Eric, I'm at 600 followers right now. He goes, what? And I go, I don't know. I don't fucking know either. And the next morning, I woke up to already passing 1K. Just like that. Actual overnight. And of course this slows down. This is unrealistic growth, or unrealistic expectations of growth for people who are just trying to get into it. It's rare that you'll go from your 100 to, 1K overnight. I got lucky. I can admit it. I got lucky. It was a bit of luck. It was a bit of creativity. It was a bit of kind of knowing how to work the algorithm a little for the time being, and it's a million different factors. But a main factor is the luck of the algorithm. I don't know what the fuck TikTok put in their fucking Cheerios that morning, but it got me to do what I'm doing today. So, as much as I fucking hate him, God bless him, But now we're here now, and frankly, I don't know where I want to go or what I want to do. This podcast feels like a good start. Just kind of being able to step out of a character that I put on for 2 hours a day, and kind of just getting to talk how I would as a human. For those who don't usually get to hear that. This is a pretty raw form of myself, I'd say. I'm not gonna really edit this too much or anything. I frankly just don't have the effort, but also just feel like creatively it's just the the avant-garde and the abstracts and the cock and ball. So I'm probably not gonna edit it too much, but I don't know. I think it's hard kind of expecting the most out of yourself every other day without failure, and seeing numbers that'll, tell you, well, today you only did this and today you only did that. And looking at your friends and seeing them get flung into stardom sometimes, and or even vice versa, you get a kind of a taste of the spotlight, and you have to look back at your friends too, and I think I feel this. I don't know if any other fellow content creators feel this, but you kind of look back at your friends when you're doing well, or maybe performing better than them in numbers, and you're like, that I don't deserve it, I wish I could lend out a hand to help them, but in the same vein, I have to help myself, I think a lot of my friends make much better content, or put more effort into their content, or think much more about these things than I do, and it's like, I don't know why I deserve the bigger number in that aspect, And I like being able to do this on a podcast, because whenever I would say something like this on stream, you get met with the, no, you deserve everything you have, and and oh, and Chump, we love you, and it's not like that, and but it's that doesn't change the thought, man. That's something that I have to work over. That's not something that can be done through kind words and appeasements. I think I get it with the imposter syndrome thing too. getting making enough money through Twitch and having hardworking people put their money, as I said they worked hard for, into my PayPal is a shock. You know, I've had nights where I get big donos, or or a lot of gifteds and whatever, and I really am sat in my bed, kind of wondering why did they do that. It doesn't make sense. I'm not. That wasn't like a. I'm not sobbing right now. I'm not a bitch. I'm just laughing at the absurdity. It doesn't make sense. You know. There are so many better things that people could spend their money on, and it just blows my mind that me going on a web camera 4 days a week is what somebody puts any sort of price tag on. It's hard. And frankly, now where I'm at, I feel like I kind of caught myself in a cycle a bit of doing, okay guys, Google form, and this and that, and now it's like I'm tired of the Google Forms, and I think Chad is a bit tired of it too every now and again. But it's like, where do we go from here? In my perfect world, I want to do content where I hang out, I talk to you guys for a bit, maybe we watch some videos that I, line up for us, or that we just go exploring on the internet. And if I feel like playing a game, I'll play a game. And, some people will go, well, Chump, you can just do that. But when you're fighting for something like the little check mark, the little partner badge, it is so hard to just go, yeah, I don't care about the viewers. But you look at my stats whenever there's a game on. No more Chump attention means we leave. I get it, It's not the content I usually do. We want the old Chump. I know. But it's like, at what point, at what number do I not care about the viewer count? It's once I get the partner badge, I don't want to stop growing. I don't want to stay at a 75 average. I want to go to the top. I want to go to the moon. Kanye West 2021, Actually, Kanye didn't sing that lyric, I'm pretty sure, but where do I stop there? Where do I settle? At what point do I go, I don't have to put in the effort anymore. I can do what I want to do. How much pandering do I have to do until I'm considered successful? And I guess that's what I'm kind of dealing with right now. So, I wish I could end this with an answer. But I don't think I do. It's just it's something that I'll have to work through. Like I said, I'm so early stages in all this. I really am. I'd consider myself this being my 7th month into seriously streaming. I have so much to learn. I have so much to teach, I'd say. I have a lot of people to meet. I have a lot of things to do. I have a lot of shows to plan, and I have a lot of terrible jokes to make on Twitter. So, but for right now, I'm just kind of I feel a bit peaceful among the chaos. I have all these thoughts, and it kind of seems like me doing this podcast is like really fucking sad. But I kind of am, I'm reveling in it a bit. I'm not upset that these are the problems I'm having. I just, I think I'm just doing my best to work out an answer. I think that's what I got going on. So, so I think that's the end here. I think that's how you do a podcast. So whatever you're doing right now, I don't know if you're listening to this while you're going to sleep. That's kind of the goal. I want to compile enough of these that you can play this throughout a full night's sleep, at least. The first one obviously won't be enough to go to sleep. It'll probably maybe you'll get into like stage 2 REM, hopefully. But we'll get these going every hopefully weekly. I think I could do this weekly. It's not too bad. But yeah, so if you're trying to go to sleep, I wish you well. I hope you have a great day tomorrow, or if you're, listening to this on the drive in, maybe, whatever you're doing, I believe in you. You got this, okay? I'm proud of you, and I appreciate you for kind of sticking with me and even giving this fucking podcast a listen, especially if you're at this point. I mean, you're at the end now, so you really fucking, you stuck it out, and I'm grateful for that. But make sure you're drinking water. Eat some good food today. Not just food. Eat good food. If you need pills, take those pills, and make sure you get a good night's sleep. And if twitch.tv/JustChump is live, go fucking watch them, okay? For me. Okay? Alright. I will talk to you guys soon, I suppose. Yellow.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey, can you do me a favor and go upstairs and just turn the setting on the crock pot from low to warm?
Yup.